Okay, so you know how it is, right? You've got a million things going on and you're just feeling like totally overwhelmed.
Oh yeah, deadlines, work, family, it can be a lot to handle.
Exactly. So we're going to call this deep dive stress management. And basically what we're doing today is diving into all this great source material you sent over to help you find some ways to deal with it all, And I got to say, some of these tips are surprisingly simple.
That's the best part, right? You don't need to completely overhaul your life to manage stress.
Like the first one we're going to talk about is breathing.
Seriously.
Breathing.
Yeah. But it's not just like regular breathing. It's deeper,
It's all about deep diaphragmatic breathing.
Say that again for me because...
Diaphragmatic breathing.
Okay, so
basically when we get stressed, right, we tend to take these short, shallow breaths. And you know what that does? It actually makes the anxiety worse.
Oh, wow. So it's like a vicious cycle. Exactly. It's like a feedback loop of stress. But when you do deep belly breathing, from your diaphragm, it actually stimulates this nerve called the vagus nerve.
Vagus nerve?
Yeah, it's this long nerve that runs from your brain all the way down to your abdomen. And it's like a brake pedal for your nervous system.
Interesting. So it kind of tells your body to chill out.
Exactly. It helps slow your heart rate, lower your blood pressure, and just generally calm everything down.
That's wild. I never thought about breathing like that. You know what? I actually used this once. I was about to give this huge presentation, and I was freaking out. My heart was pounding. I could barely breathe.
In there.
And then I remembered reading something about deep breathing. So I just sat there for a minute and focused on taking these slow, deep breaths. And it actually helped so much. I could actually feel myself calming down.
It's pretty amazing how quickly it can work, right?
Yeah, it was like magic.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's breathing. What else do we have?
Well, along those lines of simple but effective changes, your source material also talks about physical activity.
Oh yeah, exercise. You don't have to run a marathon or anything, right?
No, not at all. Even small amounts of exercise can make a huge difference.
Okay, so what are we talking here? A quick walk?
Exactly. A brisk walk, some yoga, even just 10 minutes of dancing around your living room.
So what's happening in our bodies when we exercise that helps with stress?
So exercise releases these things called endorphins. They're like natural mood boosters. They help reduce pain and stress and just make you feel good overall.
Okay, so it's like our body's own happy drug.
Pretty much. Plus, exercise can help improve your sleep, reduce muscle tension, and just give you more energy overall, which all contribute to better stress management.
Okay, that makes sense. I know yoga was mentioned in the source material, so is that a good option then?
Yeah. Yoga is fantastic because it combines physical activity with mindfulness, which is something we'll be talking about in a bit.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about that then. Mindfulness and meditation. I've heard a lot about these, but I always kind of struggle with how does sitting there and trying to not think about anything help with stress? Isn't that just adding more stress?
I get it. It definitely seems counterintuitive, right? But the idea isn't to completely empty your mind, which is pretty much impossible, by the way. It's more about just noticing your thoughts and feelings without judgment.
So it's like being an observer of your own thoughts.
Exactly. And the source material actually suggests starting small, just 5 minutes a day.
5 minutes. That's it.
Yeah, seriously. Just find a quiet spot, focus on your breath, or maybe do a guided meditation. And over time, you'll find that you're able to stay present more often and not get so caught up in all those worries and anxieties.
I tried using a meditation app a while back. And I have to admit, at first, I was like, this is ridiculous. I have so much to do. I don't have time to just sit here. But then, after a few minutes, I kind of got into it. I started focusing on the sound of the guide's voice, and all the noise in my head just kind of faded away.
It's pretty remarkable how even a few minutes of mindfulness can create that sense of space, right? Like a break from all the chaos.
Yeah, it was like a mental vacation.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered breathing, we've covered exercise, we've covered mindfulness. What else we got?
Well, let's tackle another biggie, time management. Because feeling overwhelmed by all the things you have to do is a major source of stress.
Oh my gosh, tell me about it. My to-do list is never ending. I feel like I'm constantly playing catch up.
I hear you. The source material emphasizes the importance of breaking tasks down, prioritizing, and learning to say no.
Yeah, but how do you actually do that? In real life?
Well, one technique the source mentions is the Eisenhower matrix. Have you heard of that?
No, I don't think so.
So it's basically a way of categorizing your tasks based on urgency and importance. So you have things that are urgent and important, things that are not urgent, but still important, things that are urgent but not important, and things that are neither urgent nor important.
Okay, so it's like a way of figuring out what really needs your attention right now.
Exactly. And it helps you delegate or eliminate tasks that aren't actually that critical. And then saying no is huge.
Oh my gosh, yes. I'm so bad at saying no.
It's tough.
Yeah.
But learning to set boundaries is essential for managing your time and your stress levels. You can't do everything, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's something I definitely need to work on. Personally, I've found that using a planner and task management apps really helps me stay organized.
Oh yeah, this can be super helpful.
Yeah, it's so satisfying to check things off my list and just see everything laid out in front of me. It just makes me feel more in control.
Absolutely. And speaking of feeling more in control, the source also reminds us that we don't have to go through this alone. We're social creatures by nature, and social support is so crucial for managing stress.
Oh, 100%. Sometimes just talking to a friend about what's stressing me out makes me feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
Right. It's like you're sharing the burden. And the source material talks about how sharing your feelings can be incredibly therapeutic. It helps you feel heard and understood, which can make a huge difference.
Yeah, and sometimes just getting another perspective on the situation can help you see things in a new light.
Absolutely.
So to kind of sum things up, we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about deep breathing exercise, mindfulness, time management, and social support. And I think the main takeaway here is that we actually have a lot more control over our stress than we might think.
Totally. We have so many tools and techniques at our disposal. It's just a matter of finding what works best for you.
Yeah, and remembering to actually use them.
Exactly. So as you think about all these strategies, I'm curious which one resonates with you the most. Which one are you most excited to try or explore further?
That's a great question. You know what? I'm going to try that Eisenhower matrix thing. I need to get better at prioritizing.
I think that's a fantastic idea.
Thanks. All right, well, I think that wraps up our deep dive on stress management. We hope you found these insights helpful.
Thanks for having me.